What's going on, everybody? How are you all doing? Today's video, I want to go and talk about my ranking of all the GLs so far in the game. We have 4 of them. We got the Emperor, we got Master Luke, we got Rey, and we got Kylo. So I'm doing this video because Arnold has done this video a couple days ago, and I disagree with him on some points. I think his list was he had Kylo first, then Rey, then I think he had the Emperor and then Master Luke, or maybe it was Master Luke and then the Emperor. I kind of forget, but I know for a fact he had Kylo as the first in that list. So I wanna kind of give you some of my points here, my opinions on why I feel like mine is a bit I wouldn't say better, but just a bit different. I want to give you some more takeaways here of why I feel this way. But I'm not going to be saying after you watch this video which one you should go for first, because this is all dependent on where you are in the game. You know, for a day one player, it's probably going to be easier for you to go straight for the Emperor first if you want to go whale on all that stuff and do that way. But, you know, there's a lot to consider here, guys. So I want to go and talk about these ones first. I'm going to start off with the worst one, in my opinion, in all around parts of the game. This is about, you know, Rey's countering other GLs, the requirements, and the quality of the requirements of what you get. So let's go over to the journey guide really fast. And this is going to be over here. And, you know, here we go. So which one out of these 4 is my least favorite? And that is going to be the Emperor. So Emperor is my least favorite because he has some garbage requirements. Yeah, you have the Palpatine, you got Vader, you got some like Pia and some troopers and whatnot. But I just kind of don't feel like I want to Relic 7 my Sidious anytime soon. And these other ones are not the greatest. You got Maul, you got Dooku, Marauder. Something that, like up top here, you got Krennic and the Royal Guard. So not my favorite. Also, this guy's requirements, you know, it's kind of the same with the Master Luke, but, you know, none of these guys are going straight into a team with the Emperor himself. So it's kind of annoying. You're going to be picking apart a Darth Revan team, a Darth Triumvirate team with all those other Sith guys. And you're going to not really be using any of these guys on your Emperor team from the requirements. So that's a bit annoying. Also, when you're thinking about requirements, in my opinion, I like to think about requirements where I can, you know, use them in like a GAC setting, right? So I'm not going to be too certain on where I'm going to be using a Royal Guard, a Krennic, you know, a Darth Sidious. You know, the splits of these teams are not the best. Yeah, you do have a Vader and a Palpatine, but, you know, those guys are already great regardless. They're already going to be used anyways, you know. I'm not going to be talking too much about those two, Darth Sidious, or Darth Vader and the Palpatine, but, you know, the splits of the teams here for GAC are not the greatest here. The requirements are bad, in my opinion. But the other reason is because he is not able to beat all the GLs in the game. He struggles versus the Kylos. Yeah, he can crush the Master Lukes, which is amazing. I love seeing that. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos going around where he pops his ultimate, he does his nice ability, his AoE, and they all vanish into thin air. You know, it's crazy. But I don't think he is the best one here for sure. And honestly, I feel like he's the worst one, but not worst in terms of what he can beat and accomplish in the game. But I just don't like his requirements, where the team is kind of, you know, at with, you know, where he is in the game in the moment, and just kind of like that. So he is great, but he's not my favorite. So he's on the last for number 4 spot. So the next one here is going to be Master Luke. So Master Luke would be nearly first place, but he is in 3rd place because, you know, he has just he picks apart some of the best Jedi in the game, and you don't want that. He picks apart Luke, he picks apart Gas, and he picks apart JKR. And I don't like that whatsoever, because all of those 3 characters I just mentioned are supposed to be going in their other own teams, right? So you kind of need those 3 to function with a Master Luke to beating a better meta team, you know, like a Rey, a Kylo, a mirror match with another Master Luke. You need those guys. Although versus a Kylos, you can kind of toss out those 3 and toss in some crappy Jedi. You can still beat him because this guy hard counters a Kylo team. But that's like one big reason, you know. I don't like him. He's not the, you know, he's not the number 4 spot. He's number 3 because of having to need those characters. But I do like his full requirements of the prerequisites for all these other 15 characters and ships, right? So I would say nearly all of these characters in here are top tier characters, you know. You're having some very, very influential characters here that impact your roster, you know, amazingly. You know, it's going to be crazy. You have an Old Ben here, you got a 3PO, you got a Mon Mothma, a Chewpio, JTR, and that's only the first, you know, first few. And then you go on to your JKL, an R2, a Han Solo, a Chewbacca, and the crazy awesome Rebel Y-Wing. So it's pretty good stuff. Yeah, this is more for like long-term players and veterans, but you know, when you're thinking about just the characters themselves, these guys are crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of legendaries built into it, and they're a bit hard to unlock, but at the end of the day, these are by far the best requirements of a GL, hands down. Also, there is a lot of splits here in GAC with the teams. You have some Jedi, you have some Rebels, and you have, I guess, even more Rebels with Mon Mothma and the Rebel Fighters, right? So you have a lot more splits in GAC, which is amazing. The other requirements here, you know, Princess Leia, Wedge, Biggs, and Lando, not the best, but despite those guys, the other ones take the cake for sure. Best requirements in the game. You cannot beat all GLs as well with this guy. He struggles versus the Emperor. But the other ones, I'd say he beats them very, very handily with the right team and comp. So that's Master Luke. He is number 3 on this little list here out of the 4. And then number 2 here, it will be a bit controversial for you guys. I will not be saying Kylo as number 1. He will be number 2 here. So Kylo Ren is number 2 here for a few reasons. You guys are probably going to disagree with me for sure on this one. Requirements. He has some good requirements. You know, you can probably get this guy pretty easy on if you're starting off just fresh. But the character quality here, they're good ones, but are they going to be great in GAC or TWs? Not at all. These ones, honestly, when you're working on them, they go straight back into his team, which is definitely a great sign, but the splits of them in GAC are very, very subpar. So you kind of need to, you know, work on them, and then they go straight into the Kylo team. Also, he struggles versus Master Luke's. He can solo, though, the Emperor, which is definitely a good thing, but he does struggle versus Master Luke, so he cannot beat all of the 4 GLs. However, if you wanted to, you can probably, you know, you can toss in some other guys and beat the JML if you wanted to with like a Darth Revan in there, but definitely he does struggle versus JMLs, that is for sure. The requirement aspect of it, though, not my favorite one. He has a hard time splitting apart the entire First Order. You have really a Kylo Ren, the unmasked one. You got some Hux, other stuff like here. They are good, but they're not the best requirements in my opinion. So he is good with his like aspects of killing teams, like in arena and whatnot, and his solo. But in my opinion, I feel like Rey is still better. The only thing I feel like Kylo trumps Rey in is in the HSTR. In other aspects of the game, I think Rey takes the cake. So this is why I feel like Rey is number 1. That's not Rey. This is Rey right here. So this is why I feel like Rey takes number 1 here, is because she can beat all the GLs. That's the biggest reasoning here. Also, she is great. We haven't even talked about light side TB, by the way, but she's great in that TB, getting even more waves. And the biggest reason here, I feel like, is her requirements for her splits in GAC. She has the best splits for teams in GAC by far. You can potentially split up 3 different resistance teams if you wanted to. One being the GL Rey herself, one being the Bros, and one being JTR. That is 3 amazing teams right there. I've been always setting a JTR team with the BB-8 and the Vets, and then I've been setting also OG Finn with the Bros team as well, and then either keeping or setting a GL Rey for my offense or defenses. So you have 3 different teams there with these requirements, which is amazing. And she's great in the TBs as well. She is not the best in the raids for HSTR, but honestly, guys, it comes to a point in the game where I'm at least in my guild, I never get to get top 10 rewards in my HSTR, so it's kind of pointless. It's not even important to me at all. I don't even care about the HSTR anymore, but I guess for those, you know, early on players, that is a big, big thing. But for me, I'm not too worried about that anymore, so the HSTR is not as important. But for me, why I feel like Rey is the best is because she can beat all of the GLs. She can beat a mirror match Rey, she can beat Kylo, she can beat the Master Luke, she can beat the Emperor. Yeah, and some of those you're going to need to probably bring out some more, you know, Jedis in there and some more different, you know, light side characters. But that's the greatest thing about her, is because she is light side. She is so synergistic with all light side allies. While on the other hand, the new Master Luke is so dependent on the Jedi faction. You know, you have to have a whole Jedi team to work with him, or else it's not going to be the greatest. But for Rey, on the offhand, is so great with really any light side characters in the game, and that's why I feel like she is so dang good. She has all that synergy, she has great requirements, a lot of different good splits for GAC and TW, and she can beat all the GLs in the game, guys. That is my ranking and rating on these guys for these GLs. That's 4 of them. My favorite one is Rey, and then Kylo, and then Master Luke, and then the Emperor. So that's my little video there. If you guys have any more ideas, what you guys feel like is a bit wrong here. Maybe you guys feel like I'm onto something. I don't know, but it's just like my thinking and my opinions here for these 4 GLs now in the game. I would say go for whoever you're closest to still, but just know that Rey is probably the best all the way around the table. So, it's funny I say that because I've hated on Rey so much in the past. I've made videos about why I do not like Rey, but now with more GLs in the game, I've kind of come to learn that Rey is actually so dang good with all this different synergies with the light side faction. She can beat all the GLs as well. So much to learn here. I'm still learning day by day with these GLs, what they can do and what they can accomplish. So with all that being said, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new here. Come join the Discord. Come check out the Patreons, all that sort of stuff, all down below in the description. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this video as well down below in the comments. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one.